Dube, and my speech is about the impact that social media has on society. You're looking at a camera with a picture of a crying family at their teenage daughter's funeral. She didn't die from a car crash or alcohol poisoning. She died from an eating disorder. She stopped eating because she wanted to be skinny and beautiful like the models publicized. It had the opposite effect. First, she lost her hair, energy, and menstrual cycle. Then her major organs shut down, her pulse slowed, blood pressure dropped, and finally died from malnourishment. She killed herself slowly. In the picture, black clothing is suctioned on every grim and grieving mourner from the downpour of rain. It's like the earth knows there's been an unnecessary death, and it's crying. Now make the camera zoom out. Zoom out to the point where you're frightened that everything is just boundless and you'll get swallowed up like a speck of dirt in a vacuum. The universe is an incomprehensible size. 4 oceans, 7 continents, and with the world population totaling to 7 billion people, Earth is still microscopic in comparison. Earth is home to different people who live all over in different parts of the world. 7 billion assorted people, accustomed to their own foods, clothes, religions, languages, and living habits, but people who are still subjected to the ubiquitous cookie cutter image of beautiful. I believe the media is affecting the population in ways that make men and women, boys and girls of all ages, into desperately programmed seekers of a ridiculous image. I believe the world needs to redefine the word beautiful. One of my biggest concerns about effects that social media creates is eating disorders like anorexia and bulimia. Anorexia is an emotional disorder characterized by an obsessive desire to lose weight by refusing to eat. Bulimia is an emotional disorder in which bouts of extreme overeating are followed by depression and self-induced vomiting, purging, or fasting. In most cases, if you suffer from anorexia, you suffer from bulimia. A study by the South Carolina Department of Health estimates about 24 million Americans, 23 million women, and 1 million men suffer from an eating disorder. Most victims of anorexia and bulimia that are diagnosed are women, with ages ranging as young as 6 and as old as 60. More studies by South Carolina Department of Health shows that 5 to 10% of anorexics die within 10 years of obtaining the disease, that 18 to 20% die after 20 years, that 30 to 40% never fully recover, and that 1 in every 10 people receive treatment. According to the National Association of Anorexia at an anonymous college campus poll out of 10,000 girls, over 1/2 admits to taking laxatives and binging to lose weight. There are astonishing amounts of blog posts, websites, and chat rooms that are pro-Anna and pro-Mia. Anna and Mia are the inconspicuous nicknames. Anna is short for anorexia, and Mia stands for bulimia. Often, you'll see these people with eating disorders talking about Mia and Anna and how much they love them. These internet sites specifically are created for girls who have anorexia and bulimia. Those are places where these girls can brag about how little they've eaten that day and how much weight they want to weigh and lose. They also post tips and tricks that they use to lose weight and pictures of models so deathly thin you can count every single bone in their body, which they call inspiration. These are people who are so sick mentally and physically, they are willing to deprive themselves for days on end from eating. And when they do eat, they become depressed. These people are petrified of their thighs touching, their bones not being visible, and that they are a single 3-letter word: fat. I know the media isn't causing all the eating disorders of the world, but I believe it's causing the majority of them. By always plastering the same specific-looking girls and women on public and daily viewed objects and places, the society is repetitively providing the universal appearance of beauty that can't always be reached, resulting in unneeded plastic surgeries and eating disorders. People might argue now that if you don't want to see those examples, you just shouldn't look. But nowadays, advertisement is inescapable, and you wouldn't be able to do that unless you completely shut yourself out from the world. Another arguable point is that there is no universal look of beauty, because not everyone looks the same. Although that is an understandable defense, there is a universal look of beauty. It may not be identical everywhere in the world, but the common attributes are thin women. People in Africa and Brazil might not look the same because of their popular style trends and physical attributes, but they are still impacted by the belief that being skinny is beautiful. National Institute of Mental Health reported that eating disorders are most common in young women of Japan. Society is an ever-expanding product, and it's changing lives everywhere, and not just in the US. I think that people who disagree with my statement know they're causing deaths and eating disorders, but they don't think anything of it because they can't grasp such large amounts of faceless victims. They don't feel mercy or sadness because it's all statistics and blunt numbers. So look at the camera again, and this time, zoom in. Zoom in past the frightening feeling of being a little speck of dust in the vast universe, and zoom in back to the picture of the funeral. Take it all in, every detail. Take in the somber stares of the classmates, the unresponsive zombie-like movements of the father, the anguish and despair seeping out of the mother's infinite tears, and the angry bewilderment of the little brother who is tormented by his own thoughts about how he should have seen something wrong and how he will never see his big sister live her life, and she will never be there to see him living his. That is what this argument is really about, not statistics or blunt numbers, but because of these real-life people and the pain caused by young lives taken unnaturally by eating disorders. I don't think you should die until you're ready, until you've wrung out every last bit of living as you can. Going bovine by live upright.